A British Antarctic research station is being shut down for a third winter in a row after a large new crack was discovered in the shelf that it sits on. The Halley Station, which is parked on the Brunt ice shelf, will be shut down between March and November 2018 through 2019, with the 14 staff members who had been gearing up for the winter redeployed elsewhere or brought home to the UK. They will leave behind about 80% of the experiments they'd normally conduct through the polar night, operating on automatic. The director of the British Antarctic Survey says the decision is a precautionary one. Sending in planes to evacuate personnel in winter darkness and in bad weather is an unnecessary risk. The worries are based on two cracks. The first is an ice chasm that began its slow movement northward in 2012 after more than 30 years of dormancy, and it has now accelerated over the past 7 months. The second, north of the research station, has been dubbed the Halloween crack after it appeared in October a couple of years ago. It's now estimated to be about 50 kilometers in length and growing eastward. In fact, advancing a couple of kilometers just in the past few months, actually crossing a resupply route to the station. Halley is enormously important to Antarctic scientific activities. The original station was set up by British researchers in 1956, and the station is still used to gather data on a range of observations, mainly encompassing climate change. But famously, it played a critical role in the research that identified the ozone hole in 1985, and in recent years has become a major player in studying solar activity. Scientists say that the current situation is probably part of the normal calving process that occurs at the edge of ice shelves, but the more research is needed to know if climate change is speeding up this event. What they do know is that eventually a section of the ice will break off and float away as an iceberg, one about the size of Greater London, England. But the question is when, and whether there will be other changes in the ice shelf that haven't been predicted yet. Last year, tractors actually dragged the base 23 kilometers further from the water's edge to put it in a more secure spot. A smart decision, because without the relocation, Halley would now be sitting on the wrong side of that chasm. Currently, though, scientists believe the station is in a good spot on the shelf to remain intact after that calving event happens. And one way or another, people will go back to the base when sunlight starts to return in the polar south around October, November, and scientific activities will resume then. And now, you're Science Smart. If you have a science question on your mind, send me a tweet and I'll try to get it answered.